Only a few of these people with a higher understanding are conscious of where their soul originates from. When entering space and time, they lose their consciousness. By increasing the level of vibration, they will all remember their true identity. While earthquakes and other events increase in intensity, holding the attention of the ordinary world, the extraterrestrials and the chosen ones will complete their spiritual and physical ascension into the fifth dimension. In the next 20 years, groups of people will ascend 3 times and be spiritually removed. Their subatomic vibration will be raised, their universal body activated to such a level that they will no longer experience death or disease. Indeed, death, age, and illness are experiences of duality in third dimension. This spiritual and physical resurrection coincides with our contact with the light ships of the Galactic Federation. The extraterrestrial keepers are observing the process of the ascension of the sixth root race, the seed for the race of Christ, or Bodhisattva.
I think it's important to understand that the planet Earth is receiving higher energies at this point in her evolution. Consequently, she's going through a birthing process, labor pains, earthquakes, disasters, etc. Due to these changes, and what's activating these changes is higher energies coming into the planet, and these energies are also activating changes within every human being. These energies are also activating energy matrices that already lie within the very various levels and energy fields of our body, of our being, and the light body is being created quite naturally as it responds, as we respond to being beings who live within the energy fields of planet Earth. But there is a lot that a person can do to speed this process up, and that is again through choice, through consciousness, through where we are choosing to align our focus, to align our energies. So the Merkaba is another name for your body of light. The creation of the light body is happening naturally. A lot of people are now experiencing bouts of flu. They're really bouts of light. They're going through a lot of physical changes, chest pains, which is really the heart chakra opening, headaches, which is the light coming in and activating certain parts of their brain. We are going through a huge shift in consciousness. It's obvious on the physical plane, and it's obvious within the physical bodies of mankind.
In 1987, the forerunners of the Children of the Stars and many consciously ascending humans activated the first period of cleansing around the planet. This was achieved by united meditation for world peace at a set date at countless locations on Earth. The results of this harmonious convergence were indescribable. The great changes between East and West started. World peace and mankind's yearning for harmonious change reflected the tremendous energy which arrived on Earth. The children of the light, as incarnated humans, helped these energies via meditation into mankind's collective subconscious. This energy is the first beam of light which Earth has received from the central sun of our spiritual origin. On the 11th of January, 1991, at 11:11 a.m., the magnetic network of the fourth dimension became activated. The children of the light, gathered by the thousands in geomantic energy sites on Earth, also called the chakras of the Earth.
On January 11th, 1992, hundreds of thousands of people gathered together all over the planet in groups large and small and performed a series of unified movements, and together we opened the doorway of the 11:11. Now, ever since we first came to planet Earth, we've been evolving along a spiral of evolution that was anchored in duality. And this is the very first time the activation of the 11:11 has given us the opportunity to move to another spiral of evolution anchored in oneness. So when we opened that door on January 11th, 1992, it created a zone of overlap between two very different spirals of evolution. We have 20 years until December 31st, 2011 to move through this zone of overlap for those of us who now choose to graduate from duality and move into oneness. As we move through the doorway of the 1111, we are now graduating from duality. And as I said, moving into oneness, we're moving into new octaves of awareness. We're moving out of the patterns of dimensions into an entirely different patterning, that which exists in the spiral of evolution of oneness. Now the planet Earth is coming through the doorway with us, and it's going to be shedding its skin at some time before the doorway closes at the end of 2011. And we'll find that all the layers of illusion, all the layers of pollution, all the layers of disease on this planet, everything that was based in duality will be dissolving away from the Earth, and the Earth will arrive on the other side of the doorway with the ones of us who choose to make that journey, and it will also be reborn anew. Because of the opening of the 1111, we're now living in very, very interesting times in which we have a superimposition of two very different worlds, that which is based in duality and that is based in oneness. And every day we're faced with choices of where are we going to anchor our being, in duality or in oneness. We also find that everything is new as we move into this new spiral of oneness. We find that the old Earth grid patterns, the old planetary vortexes, are now shifting to very, very new ones. We find that each of us, as we awaken and remember on this planet and step into and embody more of our higher truth, that we are now serving as anchors and pinions of the new. And we are, in ourselves, becoming new vortexes of oneness. And you can see as these beings activate all over the planet, and as the new starry gridwork comes alive, that there is a new gridwork. You can see it as golden light, just meshes of golden light which now encircle the planet. And as more and more of us activate and step into position, it becomes a whole radiant new star.
They began to acupuncture the earth with dances of the sun. The rituals happened at the Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt, in Tibet, Glastonbury in England, in Arizona, Argentina and New Zealand. Around the planet, the activation of the gates to ascension was launched by the incarnated angels and extraterrestrials, accompanied by awakened ascending humans. The conscious activation of the master grid nets inevitably will lead to the Earth ascension into the fourth dimension, with or without passengers. But it wasn't only the incarnated extraterrestrials who started the acupuncture of Earth's geomantic power centers, distributing wise information and ascension into the subconscious of the living planet.
What is behind the Starborn? The people who are here today all have a tag saying Starborn. What are the Starborn people? They are the so-called Starborn people. They do not come from the Earth, but from outer space, and they are aware of their origin. These people incarnated here onto this Earth at this point in time in order to fulfill the duty of which I have already spoken, and in order to do the work within the agreement to incarnate. Where does the knowledge of the Starborn people come from? Do they get the knowledge from their inner self or from some religion? Where does it come from? This knowledge comes essentially from their inner self because they have awakened in this time and they are receiving the inner images or messages. This knowledge is also transmitted through mediums who are helping those who are not quite ready yet to find their own in themselves. Later, they are able to find their own path. Is it true that the people who meet here are from different countries but do not belong to any specific religious denomination? Is it also true that many people who have felt intuitively or telepathically compelled to meet in these powerful places of the world on this day? Yes, that is right. I do not belong to any religious denomination, but I do believe in God. To me, the highest goal is to encounter the light, to meet God. What do people do here with these circles, with these circular formations? What do people accomplish with these circular formations?